Hello again, Jared Pitts here, and today we are making marmalade, which if you've read any of Dr. Ray Peat's work, you'll know is very high in naringin, which we then convert to naringinin, which is the active form that our body uses. Anyway, naringin is very high in grapefruit, pomelo, guava, and orange peel, higher than anywhere else. And although you'll get some from the juice, it's mostly concentrated in the peel. And naringin is actually heat stable, so cooking it isn't going to destroy it. Anyway, I got these 11 oranges from Azure Standard out in Oregon because they're one of the few places I trust to get me not just organic, but beyond organic produce that hasn't been soaked in chemicals. And since we're using the peels, that's exactly what we want. Still, I'm going to soak these in a bit of vinegar and water to clean the peel overnight because I'll be using that in my recipe, of course. After cleaning them, we're going to peel them with a carrot peeler, and we'll be keeping these for the marmalade. You can also use the pith, but I'm going to get rid of that in order to go for a sweeter product. Most people do this for marmalade, although you're getting rid of some of the naringin content. I'm not doing this exactly how Dr. Peat described, but you can find what I believe is a recipe from Dr. Peat himself on recipeats.org, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. I went heavy on the sugar in my recipe with 7 cups of organic sugar. And to quote Dr. Peat about marmalade and the sugar content, although I know I don't have to convince most of you that follow Dr. Peat that sugar is not a poison, but Dr. Peat says in an interview in reference to marmalade, quote, "The added sugar is an added anti-stress factor that supports your thyroid," end quote. But don't tell too many people about that. We don't want sugar prices going up for us Peters. Okay, we're also going to add a little less than a 1/3 cup of organic lemon juice, 2/3 cup of filtered water. We're going to get it up to a simmer and keep it there for about an hour. I also read online that you can do what's called a plate test by putting a plate in the freezer, and when you're ready, get out some of the marmalade, drip it on to the plate to see if it'll just run a little bit and then stop running. If it does, then you're ready to turn the stove off. And then once you've cooled it a bit, at least this is what I did, I went ahead and put it in warm jars so that as they cool, they'll seal. Let me tell you folks, I don't think I am ever going back to any other type of jam or jelly because this orange marmalade is off the charts. Absolutely delicious.